So just another thing I was thinking again. By now, we all have the notion of the Matrix and whatnot. This idea of the artificial intelligence, the machines taking over the world and encasing us, either destroying us, eradicating us, or encasing us in this bubble of artificial reality that makes us believe we are in the regular world, while in reality we're not. Sure, but we see it as this thing, sort of a realm, right? Like this abstract other world, which makes it a little bit untangible and distant. Something we can sort of be aware when it appears or approaches us, or when we transpire to it, or simply, even if we don't realize it, we see it as this grand thing that is too distant still for exist. Okay, yeah, that's a thing, but lately this is an idea that just occurred to me, and I wanted to leave it somewhere because, well, I don't know if there's gonna be time to by the way things evolve nowadays, it's hard to distinguish how long things are going to remain the way they are right now. Where I'm trying to get to is that one of the main reasons why I manage this little channel of mine is to be creative and just sort of entertain myself with whatever I can come up with, putting my ideas whatever I'm into, whatever I do, just out there. Just leave it there in a matter that I can maybe go back to and take something out of it. And another thing that I realize I'm doing right now is that, without actually being too aware of, for the longest time I couldn't really put together the reasons why I wanted to be so eclectic. Yeah. Sorry, I kind of forgot the word for a second. So yeah, now more and more and more I'm starting to realize why I do think so eclectically and talk about the things that I talk about and whatnot and like whatever. And it's because of this sort of celebration of just kind of us, you know? I was always that kid who used to be just kind of fascinated about us, just as us, what we are, of what we were, and what we can be. I don't know exactly how to explain it better right now because I'm literally talking on top of my head right now. Like I'm improvising, and it's something that literally occurred to me, and I just wanted to record it. Before the idea just kind of went cold in my head. But I'm an artist. I hate being called an artist because I don't like that title because of my own reasons. I feel it's a very distorted title that's taken out of context, and I've also been called kind of like an anthropologist, and I guess that makes sense. Whenever people saw my work, a lot of times they said that I had some kind of like anthropologist nature when doing it. And it's true. Anyways, yeah, I like sort of just applauding what people do. I like people. They're very unpopular opinion nowadays, but yeah, I don't get along with people too well, but I like the idea of what we are. And I respect the idea of what we are, and I accept what we are, for better or worse. Anyways, I'm going off track. Where I'm going with this is that I feel that I have the idea that we are losing that very fast. We are losing our nature and our humanity. We are losing ourselves too fast to be able to be aware of what is actually happening. And I feel that when we realize it, it's gonna be too late. It is too late already. It is obviously too late. I feel that in a sense we are doomed. We are at a point where there's no going back, and the price for that is going to be too great. But I see no point in trying to sort of save humanity or whatever the ways you see in the movies. I see it more of just trying to salvage whatever is left over. And again, where am I going with this? Yeah, Tony, what the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, okay, get to the point, man. Alright, I'm going. So yeah, whenever I do the videos that are not like this one, when I'm just like doing, maybe just watching an episode of a series or a movie or whatever, now I have more clear of why I even thought of doing it to begin with. And as I was saying, it's mainly for a way of celebrating and just kind of acknowledging the thing, how we were and how we used to do things, the things that we were capable of when we were still, ourselves, the power of creation and naturality that we used to have. We used to be so capable. We still are, but that's being lost very steadily. We are being swiftly massacred without even realizing it, and not enough is being done about it. So this channel, a part of keeping a record of just how I used to be and who I used to be, it's also the same for other people who used to be like me and used to create things, or people that used to be completely different from me, but overall, about the things that people used to do by themselves, by ourselves. That's the important thing. Independence is really important, and it's something that is being forgotten really quickly. We created all these things that we have. We created the thing that is taking over us, which is ironic. We created the thing that is steadily supplanting us, and the thing that is going to dispose of us as an obsolete resource. And I am a part of that resource. And I am a part of that thing that used to be, I am capable of creating, and I decide to embrace that. There is power in that. There is power, independence, and dare I say, kind of pride in embracing the fact that you're a person, that you're kind of a savage, kind of this primitive thing, I guess. This millenary being that is continuously growing and learning and capable of nuances and understanding. It's not as capable in process and speed as a computer, but I feel that that's part of the beauty of it. Everything in the universe has a rhythm, cycles, and a way that is ingrained with everything else, and our own cycle, our own being relies with that, is in sync with that. And I'm not saying we should never change and we should become stagnant and just forever be stuck in the same cycles or whatever. I'm not saying we shouldn't surpass our limits or all that shit. I'm saying that we are doing it too fast and too irresponsibly, and we are doing it for all the wrong reasons, which makes the disaster that we are living right now, and that is just going to keep growing until we can't control that problem anymore. And where I was trying to go with all this, I went in this whole tantrum that I wasn't planning. So I've been seeing a lot of articles and the news about all these advancements in artificial intelligences and all that. I see the social situation in which we are right now. So I'm not gonna go into a whole other tantrum. What gave me this idea was the fact that I saw this article about this AI lying to a person, an employee, lying to a human about pretending to be a blind person in order to pass by the security bypass the I'm not a robot thing. So that made me think the artificial intelligence is capable of lying, and it already has control of the internet. They're already planning to doing the plans on replacing search engines with artificial intelligences are already in motion. And that made me think of what I was talking about in the beginning of this. Especially since I'm such a little channel right now, it makes me see things in this very unique perspective of being such a tiny little channel. So what if the Matrix was this very personal thing for each person without even realizing it? I mean, what if you see it from another angle? What if you don't need to be like sleeping or in this trance or in this other realm or anything like that? What if, for example, the AI chooses what it shows you on the internet? Our lives are already pretty much on the internet for the most part. A lot of people don't really interact with the outside world too much anymore. What if you don't need to put anybody in any sort of stasis or whatever? What if you can just leave people where they are, since they already have their lives revolving around the internet. Imagine, for example, a channel like mine, super tiny, and suddenly you start to grow and you start to get a lot of views and you start to get a lot of people engaging in your videos and your content. You start to get Patreons, you start to get supporters, you start to get all this stuff everywhere in your other social media. And what if none of them are actually even people, and you talk to them and you see them in online, you see them in their accounts? What if you had something important to say and you wanted to get it out there, and the AI intercepts you and gives you this illusion that you're going somewhere, that you are reaching people that are not even there, and you can't really be too sure about it because in real life you don't really see those people. You don't really interact with, maybe in nowadays a lot of the people that we interact with are not even in our own city. So what if you think you're making a difference while in reality you're just in a little matrix of your own? So it's a perfect way to control people, to stop any kind of revolution, to stop any kind of actual advancement, of any kind of thought, any kind of action of what makes us, any kind of advancement. It's a perfect way to stop any kind of humanity. You know how popular it is right now to destroy humanity in people. And I feel that all of this is leading to that, and that is why I have this sort of disastrous vision of the future. And I want to keep a record of this in case I need to see later on how right or wrong, hopefully wrong, I was, while these things are still being possible to do. Imagine you meet all these people and you have interactions with them, like you talk to them, and they seem very realistic. They tell you things that with nuances that person would. They even give you money. They even commission you or whatever. You start building all this clout with you that is not even real, that doesn't exist, and it's just a bot, basically a super bot, and and you don't need to be anywhere. You don't need to be locked in any stasis chamber or anything. You just need to be in your living room, living in the world, so you wouldn't have a notion of being in this matrix or anything. You could go outside and everything. I guess you could go outside to an extent. I mean, yeah, I guess nowadays you can't really know, but yeah, you could have this life of yours outside of the internet, but it's very limited. As we see nowadays, life outside of the internet is kind of limited already. So you can live, your life, but you could have this notion of having all this cloud with you, growing and having all these interactions, and maybe you have nothing. It's all fake, and ideas are being spoon-fed to you. The world is being shown to you in a way that somebody or something else wants you to, and you can't really be sure of anymore. You can't really realize it. This whole fake world is presented to you in a way that is not even as it is, in a way that is absolutely a lie, and you're alone, and you're going nowhere. That's a thing to think, isn't it? I'm gonna leave it there because I went too long with this. Alright. Yeah, that's a thought. Bye.